In Britannica Encyclopedia, an agenda is described as a plan or goal that guides someone's behavior and that is often kept secret. The key word, secret. More often than none, it presupposes that the implementation of an agenda is usually covert and subtly introduced until it can no longer be delineated. With the news of COVID breaking in 2020, it became evident that nations of the world had been subserviently operating within the confines of an agenda fostered by groups brandished as global organizations. While the world woke up to the propaganda of a virus, it was indeed an integral part of an ominous agenda to centralize the governing structure of our world. They themed it Agenda 2030.
It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century.
They had this Agenda 2030, a plan for a new world order to come into place by the year 2030.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Pause. No. I just wanted to see if you can move back a little. I want what David built. Look at what David Rockefeller said. All we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the new world order. Sometime last year, that we were having a program here, this Your Love World Specials. A day or two before, Biden had announced officially the new world order. And then we said, no, we have cancelled that. They're not going to have it. And they haven't had it. In fact, the world has not been more polarized than it has been in the last following months since that announcement. I told you we're going to get into a real polarization of the world. They're seeing that right now. They're going through it right now. But there's more. Look at what that guy stated. That's David Rockefeller. They just need the right major crisis. They thrive in crisis. And this crisis must be manufactured. They don't wait for it. It's not like they're waiting and hoping that there'll be some crisis. No. It has been created. And George H.W. Bush, that's the Bush Sr., said what we need is a new world order. All right? Governed by not the law of the jungle, but by who? Who's to run it? Who makes the laws? Let's go on.
They are using this crisis, this created crisis, to slowly but surely collapse the world economy and bring in this new world order. And they're not hiding it anymore. They're throwing it right in our faces right here. The United Nations New World Order Project is a global, high-level initiative founded in 2008 and led by Jamie Ilian and Ndaba Mandela to advance a new economic paradigm.
Pause there. Another smoke screen. Gaslighting. No, give it up. They said the New World Order Project is a global high-level initiative founded in 2008 and led by Jamie Ilian and Ndaba Mandela. This is not true. It's just because they added the word project. But this has been going on. In fact, you just heard Bush. And he was not the first. It's been going on. What are they trying to do? They're trying to give you names of, so we look like we're all doing it together, especially with the mentioning of Mandela, Ndaba Mandela. So it's like, it's all of us, Africans, Asians, everybody together. But not true. So that's another misleading line. But these are masters of the art of deception. Go on.
And a new world order for humankind, which achieves the UN's global goals for sustainable development by 2030, and the happiness, well-being, and freedom of all life on Earth by 2050. You see this? Lies right there, straight up. The Agenda 2030 might have been set in 2008, but they've had this going on they've had this planned out for many decades, folks. They've been refining it. Agenda 21, now it's become Agenda 2030.
So, God's people, and indeed everyone, must become avidly conscious of the ongoing schemes to ensure that Agenda 2030 is consummately accomplished, especially due to the caliber of people that have stealthily and explicitly proclaimed their support for the agenda.
I was reviewing some statements made by Prince Charles at the World Economic Forum in Davos, in which he was literally calling for a new system for this world, a new order, with the hope that it will become effective, fully effective, by 2030.
In order to secure our future and to prosper, we need to evolve our economic model. Having been engaged in these issues since, I suppose, 1968, when I made my first speech on the environment, and having talked to countless experts across the globe over those decades, I've come to realize that it is not a lack of capital that is holding us back, but rather the way in which we deploy it. Therefore, to move forward, we need nothing short of a paradigm shift, one that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace.
And he's not the only one speculating that date. There are others like him speculating that by that date, they should have a fully functional one world economy or one world government, as it were.
Building back better, this pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts.
Now we have to accelerate because we are living the first consequences of basically climate disorders. It's time to rush, and President Biden is 100% right to do so.
Last week, I shared the outlines of my plan to build back better.
It's about building this country back better.
As Europeans, we increased our targets for 2030 and 2050 a few months ago. We need India and China to be with us. With Chancellor Merkel, we had a discussion with President Xi.
The Great Reset.
And I think we felt the commitments of President Xi on climate to work with the US and with Europe. First, to accelerate his target of 2030.
Our strongest beliefs are challenged by the rise of a yet unknown new world order.
A new world order that China has to be
part of the process of creating it.
Partnership and cooperation among nations is not a choice. It is the only way. Now is the time to join together through constant cooperation and strong institutions and shared sacrifice and a global commitment to progress to meet the challenges of the 21st century.
Build it back better.
We must build back better.
Build back better.
To build back better. To build back better.
Build back better.
Build back better.
While they have spoken openly about effectively installing a new system of government for the world by 2030, what is more curious is their strategic quest for that one leader who will be the face of the purported government.
People today are looking for someone with answers. I like to go back to the time in Weimar Germany when the hyperinflation took place, and they were looking for someone to come and to bring some order from the chaos, and that's how they ended up with Adolf Hitler.
That's right.
And it's the same thing in our world today. As we see more economic chaos and nations in chaos, people are going to be looking for a savior and a deliverer.
And they need one leader. And they don't want the divisions of politics, economy, and religion.
Because now, progressively, a lot of people would like to see there are two orders in this world. This is a huge mistake, even for both the US and China. We need a single global order.